Good day, class. Are you excited to learn new lesson? Okay. Now, I am your teacher for today. I am teacher Jake. So now, we will talking about chapter 6, lesson 3, which is the discount, simple interest, and commission. So now, what is discount? Discount or markdown, it is the amount deducted from the original price. The discount means a reduction in the price of a good or service. For example, we may ask the manager for a discount if the item is damaged. Discount refers to the condition of the price of a bond that will be lower than the face value. Discount is a type of reduction in the cost price of a product. To fully understand the discussion about discount, take a look at this example. The mark price of a rice cooker is 1,250 pesos. The shopkeeper offers an off-season discount of 20% on it. Find its selling price. But before we proceed to solving process, please be reminded with the formula of discount. As you can see, we have this triangular form of formula of discount, which is D over R times OP. D stands for discount, R stands for rate, and OP stands for original price. To solve the problem, try to look at this solving process. First thing that we must do is to find the amount of discount. We will be finding out what is the amount of a 20% discount if we will be deducting it into the selling price of rice cooker, which is 1,250. First, we must put on the formula itself. We have distance equals to rate times original price. Then, we will be putting on the 20% below the rate and multiply it by the original price, which is 1,250. As you can see, we cannot multiply the 20% and 1,250, which is the selling price or the original price, because the rate is in the percent form. So we should convert it into decimal point. In converting percent into decimal, let's put a point in the back of the zero, and then thoroughly move it to the left side twice. Then, as you can see, the decimal point were landed in beside 2 in the left corner. With that, we can truly multiply the discount because it converted now into decimal. So 0.2 multiplied by 1,250 is equals to 250. So, ang 20% pala ay katumbas ng 250 pesos. If kung titingnan natin ito, malaki pala ang amount o halaga ng 20% kaya't malaki ang chances rin na maliit lang ang iyong babayaran sa original price. As you can see, meron na tayong amount of discount. Now, we will be going to subtract the amount of discount from the original price. So, para malaman natin kung magkano nga ba ang babayaran natin. As you can see, meron tayong formula dito. We have NP equals OP minus D. NP stands for net price o ang kabuuang babayaran mo. OP is the original price and D is the discount. First thing we must do is to subtract the original price from the discount. From the original price, we have 1,250, and at the same time in discount we have 250. Then through that, we will just simply subtract them. So 1,250 minus 250 is equal to 1,000. The net price that we have is 1,000. Ito yung kabuuang amount na babayaran natin. So, always remember that if you're going to find or determine the amount with the deduction of discount, all you have to do is to keep in mind the formula of discount, which is discount equals to rate or discount rate multiplied by the original price. Did you understand the discussion about discount class? Alright. To further understand the topic, let's have another example. For example, Sheila wanted to buy a dress she found amounting to 1,500 and was selling at a discount of 25%. How much did she pay for the dress? In the given problem, si Sheila daw ay gusto niyang bumili ng damit at nalaman niya na ang halaga nito ay 1,500 at may discount na 25%. At ang tanong, magkano nga ba ang babayaran ni Sheila para sa dress kung may discount itong 25%? Magkano nga ba ang kabuuang babayaran niya? So, let's find out. So, gaya nga ng unang problem, first thing we must do is to find the amount of the discount. We have the formula of discount, so discount equals to rate or discount rate then multiplied by original price. Then, i-convert lang natin ang 25% into decimal point. As what I've said earlier, in the first problem, hindi valid na i-multiply ang 25% sa 1,500 which is ang original price. So, ang tanging paraan lamang natin para mahanap kung magkano nga ba ang halaga ng 25% discount is to convert it into decimal point. So, magsisimula tayo sa right side ng 5 and mag-move tayo ng twice papunta sa left side. So, ang discount na na-form natin into decimal is 0.25. In here, we can now directly multiply the discount which is ang 0.25 into the original price which is the 1,500. I-multiply lang natin siya and the result is 375. The amount of discount which is 25% is 375. So ngayon, nakuha na nga natin ang halaga o amount ng discount which is the 375. So, paano nga ba natin malalaman ang net price natin o ang kabuuang babayaran natin? In the first place, let's have the formula itself. We have net price equals to original price subtracted by discount. Dito sa original price, we will just simply put on 1,500 dahil ito ang original price ng damit na gustong bilhin ni Sheila. Then, subtracted it by 375 which is ito naman yung sinolve natin kanina sa discount. Isusubtract lang natin sila then the result is 1,125. So, ang net price o kabuoang babayaran ni Sheila sa damit is 1,125. Madali lang, di ba? Sa totoong buhay, maganda pala ang naidudulot ng discount. Dahil ito ay nakapagpapabawas sa ating mga bilihin. Gaya na lamang if tayo ay bibili ng mga magagarang damit. So if maaari tayo ay pumili ng mga malalaking discount nang sa gayoy malaki rin ang tsansa na maliit lamang ang ating babayarin. So now let's move on to simple interest. So what is simple interest? Simple interest, it is an amount charged for the use of money. The amount of interest depends on how big the principal and rate of interest are, and the length of time by which the amount stays in the bank or is paid by the borrower. Ang simple interest daw, ito yung interest o nakukuha ng isang nagpapahiram ng pera, katulad na lamang ng nagpapautang. Ito ay isang kabayaran bilang kapalit sa paghiram ng pera. Nakakatanggap ng interest ang nagpapahiram ng pera o ang tinatawag na lender bilang kabayaran sa pagpayag niyang tumanggap ng risk o panganib. Here are the formula of simple interest. As you can see in the triangular form of simple interest formula, the I sign is what we called interest, that is indicated above, over P, which is the principal, multiplied by R, which is the rate, and multiplied again by T, which is time. In simple interest, it's not only focuses on interest as missing term, but instead, it also focuses on principal, rate, and time. if ang hinahanap sa word problem ay ang lahat ng nabanggit. When we encounter a word problem that wherein the principal is the missing term, we can use the formula principal equals interest over rate multiplied by time. If ang rate naman ang missing term, ang formula na ating gagamitin is rate equals interest over principal multiplied by time. And lastly, if the time is the missing term, we can use the formula time equals interest over principal multiplied by rate. Here is an example. Beverly deposited an amount of 25,000 pesos in a bank that offers a simple interest rate of 10% per annum. How much will her total money be in 18 months? So, we have here the formula. I, which is the interest, equals to the P, which is the principal, multiplied by R, which is the rate, and multiplied again by time. As you can see, hindi natin maaaring i-multiply ang 18 months dahil ito ay dapat naka-year. So, sa loob ng isang taon, mayroon tayong 12 months. So, paano nga ba i-convert ang 18 months into a year? All you have to do is to divide 18 months by 12. It's 12 because within a year, it has 12 months. So, divide both. So, the result will be 1.5. As we divided both 18 months and 12 months, we can now replace 18 months into 1.5. 1.5 is a year form. Through that, we can now multiply 25,000 pesos in and then 0.1 and 18, and the result is 3,750 pesos. Now, the interest for 18 months that Beverly deposited in the bank is 3,750. Base sa tanong, ano nga ba ang kabuuang pera ni Beverly sa loob ng 18 months? Una nating gagawin is ilagay natin ang formula, which is A equals P plus I. A stands for total amount and P for principal and I for interest. Ang next step na gagawin natin is ilagay ang principal, which is 25,000 pesos, then ipa-plus natin siya sa 3,750, which is ito ang interest na sinolve natin kanina. Then i-add sila, then ang result is 28,750 pesos. So, Beverly's total amount in the bank after 18 months is 28,750 pesos. Here is another example of simple interest. Kimberly decided to save and opened a savings account in a bank with 1% interest per year. If she has 5,500 pesos in her account, how much interest will the money earn in 1 year? First step is to simply put the formula. We have interest equals principal multiplied by rate and multiplied again by time. Sumunod ay ilagay naman natin ang principal, which is 5,500 pesos at imumultiply siya sa rate, which is 1%, at imumultiply ulit natin siya sa time, which is 1. Now, hindi natin mamumultiply ang 1% sa iba dahil ito ay naka-percent form. Sabi ko nga kanina na dapat ito ay naka-convert into decimal point. So, ang ating gagawin ay i-convert natin ito sa decimal point at ang kalalabasan ay 0.01. At i-move lang siya twice from right side to left side. Then, maaari na natin itong mamumultiply. So, 5,500 pesos times 0.01 times 1 is equal to 55. So, the money of Kimberly will earn 55 pesos in 1 year. Did you get it right, class? Alright. How about naman kung rate ang naging missing term? So, let's have this example. Joshua borrowed 30,000 pesos from a bank. If the interest he paid was 3,375 pesos for 9 months, at what rate would he pay? Therefore, all you have to do is to simply put the given. Interest is 3,375, principal is 30,000, while time is 9 months. So the formula that we will be using is rate equal to interest over principal multiply by time. So the I or interest is 3,375 over 30,000 and 0.75. All you have to do is to first multiply the 30,000 and 0.75. Then as you proceed to the next step, just simply copy the interest, which is 3.375, and calculate or multiply the principal and time. Lastly, divide 3,375 by 22,500 as the result between the principal and time. So therefore, 0.15 is the rate. So the rate that Joshua would pay is 0.15. So paano naman kung time ang naging missing term? Let's have this example. Miss Carla borrowed 40,000 pesos from a bank. He, she borrowed amount earned 5,400 pesos at 20% ordinary interest. How many days did it take Miss Carla to repay the loan? First, we need to identify the given. P or principal is 40,000, I or interest is 5,400, and the rate is 20%. So, 0.20 is the decimal form of 20%. So, first copy the formula and then put the given numbers to their respective areas. Then, multiply 40,000 to 0.20 as the result is 8,000. Then copy the interest and the result and multiply them. Therefore, the result is 6.675. As you can see, we can simply put 0.675 within the time because it is a form of decimal. All we have to do is to identify first the ordinary days. We all know that in the ordinary days, there are 360 days. So, to know the days that Miss Carla need to repay a loan is to multiply 0.675 into 360 days. Therefore, the days she need to repay is 243 days. So, paano naman kung principal ang naging missing term? Here is an example. Mr. Gomez paid the bank 1,200 pesos exact interest at 8% for 146 days. How much did he borrow? So, syempre, i-identify mo lang ulit yung given. P is the missing term, I is 1,200 pesos, rate is 8% o 0.08, then ang time is 146 o 0.4. Bakit naging 0.4 ang nakalagay sa time? Ang tanong kasi is, si Mr. Gomez daw is nagbayad sa bangko ng 1,000 pesos exact interest at 8% sa loob ng 146 days. When we say exact interest, mayroon itong 365 days. Ang ordinary interest ay may 360 days, while ang exact interest ay may 365 days. Sa exact interest, mayroon tayong 365 days. All we have to do is to divide 146 into 336 and the result is 0.4. 0.4 is the time. So through that, we can now proceed to the solving process. First, copy the formula. For interest, we have 1,200 over rate, which is 0.8, and multiply it by the time, which is 0.4. As what I've said kanina, i-copy lang natin ang sa interest and multiply 0.8 and 0.4. The result is 0.032. Then, divide 1,200 by 0.032. Ang kinalabasan ay 37,500 pesos. So, the amount of money that borrowed is 37,500 pesos. Please take note that if the problem if year ang nakalagay, automatic na siyang ilalagay. Then, so kaya kung months lamang o days ito, dapat talagang i-convert siya into a year. So ngayon, pag-aralan naman natin ang huling lesson, which is ang commission. So, what is commission? Commission is paid to a person for the services rendered. In our problem, it is an amount of money paid to an agent for selling the house and lot. Commission is generally a percentage of sales. If the agent has a regular salary, the commission is added to that to get the total home pay. So halimbawa, ikaw ay nagbibenta ng lupa o kaya'y bahay o kaya'y may nagpapabenta sa iyo ng bagay o ari-arian. At nakatanggap ka ng pera matapos mong ibenta yung isang bagay o ari-arian sa isang tao na pinagbibintahan mo. Ito ay isang tinatawag na komisyon. Here is the formula of commission. As you can see in the triangular form of commission formula, it indicates C over R times GP. C is commission, R is rate, and GP is the gross proceeds. Here is an example. Mrs. Tamon, a real estate agent, sold a house and lot for 1,750,000 pesos and received 5% commission from the sale. How much was her commission? Here is the solution. First, we will just simply identify the given. C equals R multiplied by GP. C stands for commission, R for rate or commission rate, and GP stands for gross proceeds. Then, simply put 5% below the R sign, which is the rate. Then multiply it by 1,750,000, which is the GP or gross proceeds. As what I've said multiple times, hindi siya mamumultiply ang 5% dahil naka-percent form siya. So, itatransform natin siya into decimal point. So, ang kalalabasan ay 0.05. Then, imumultiply it by 1,750,000 pesos and the result is 87,500 pesos. So, si Mrs. Tamon nakareceive siya ng 87,500 pesos galing sa sale na 5% commission nung ibininta niya ang kaniyang house and lot. Now, let's have another example for commission. So, Mr. Carino, a real estate agent, receives 30% commission on the property he sells. If he sold a property at 50,000 pesos last month, how much was his commission? So, si Mr. Carino daw ay nakatanggap siya ng 3% na commission galing sa property na kanyang ibininta. Kung ibininta niya ito or ang kaniyang property ng halagang 50,000 pesos last month, magkano ang kanyang commission? So, ating alamin. So, let's identify the given. Ang hinahanap natin ay ang commission. Kung magkano nga ba ang commission ni Mr. Carino after niyang makareceive ng 3% commission last month sa pagbibinta niya ng kanyang property. Then, the rate or commission rate, we have 3%. 0.03 kung sa decimal form. Then, ang ating GP o gross proceeds ay 50,000 pesos. Now, let's try to solve it. So, first, copy the formula. The R is 0.03. So, we will just simply multiply the 0.03 by 50,000 pesos. Then, the result is 1,500 pesos. So, Mr. Carino's commission was 1,500 pesos. Did you understand what commission mean, class? And how to solve it? Alright. So, I'm glad that you have learned a lot in this topic called commission. That's all for today's lesson, class. I hope that you have learned and gained a lot of knowledge about Chapter 6, Lesson 3, which is the discount, simple interest, and commission. See you next time. Goodbye.